afternoon, everybody. I'd like to thank everybody for coming here tonight. My name is Joe McAuliffe, and my teammates and I represent Chicopee Comprehensive High School's proposition team on the result that any college may consider the contents of an applicant's MySpace website in deciding whether the applicant may be accepted for admission into that college. With the ever-evolving world of social networking sites, more and more people are beginning to create profiles of themselves and posting various things on their page. With this, many college admission officers, 1 in 7 to be exact in a recent Kaplan University study, are using these sites to analyze the applicants and make decisions as to whether these applicants are accepted into their institution. We propose that any college may consider the contents of an applicant's MySpace website in deciding whether the applicant may be accepted for admission into that college on the basis of moral character, which can be determined by viewing one's MySpace website.
Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, and esteemed members of the law. As you have just heard from the proposition, we are having a debate today about MySpace as a background check. Now, MySpace is a social network which allows people to talk about their events that happen during the days with the friends that they now meet. This area is dedicated not only to that idea, but to the expression of oneself and one's true opinions. Any information found on MySpace should be deemed irrelevant and inaccurate, and the prospect of using MySpace as a part of a background check is unorthodox and unjust.
Good afternoon. My name is Jessica Avery, and I'm the first speaker for Chicopee Comprehensive High School. Most universities now accept the Universal College application, which includes the following questions. Will you be the first in your immediate family to attend college? Have you incurred disciplinary action, or have you ever been placed on probation, suspended, removed, dismissed, or expelled from high school? Other than traffic offenses, have you ever been convicted of a misdemeanor, felony, or other crime? These questions just are not enough to determine whether a college should admit a student. Viewing an applicant's MySpace page provides an opportunity to see an honest, unbiased opinion of an applicant, which teacher references and written essays do not provide because they are almost always positive connotation of the applicant and offer only a view of the applicant in a school environment. Sections such as About Me and Pictures allow one venture into the life of an applicant in an informal manner. The viewing of pictures allows one to see if there is any question in the applicant's character by looking for such things as potential alcohol consumption under the age, use of alcohol, and other inappropriate behaviors. Jeff Olson, Executive Director of Research for Kaplan Test Prep and Admissions, encourages students to use discretion when posting information online. Use privacy controls and know that it's something that everyone can just Google. MySpace's privacy policy says the profile information in a member's profile is provided at his or her sole discretion. MySpace may also enable members to publicly display their profile information if they choose to do so via a profile setting under Edit Profile. Search engines may index the portion of a member's profile, including the profile information it contains, that is publicly displayed. MySpace warns users in its terms of use agreement, which each user must agree to. Please choose carefully the information you post on or through MySpace services and that you provide to other users. MySpace also has ways for applicants to prevent users who are not accepted friends from viewing their pages as on myspace.com. It says, only the people you select will be able to view your profile and photos. So applicants who do not use private page features are allowing colleges to see their profile at their own discretion. The major question here is one of moral character, as said by a famous Greek philosopher, Plato, in the Republic. Justice, therefore, we may say, is a principle of this kind. Its real concern is not with external actions, but with a man's inward self, his true concern and interest. One's character tells you more about an individual than a traditional application. Like in the workforce, institutions of higher learning should search for candidates who show good character, which therefore develops productive students. Colleges prepare students for leadership, and our society describes strong leadership for individuals who demonstrate the type of character described by Plato.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Christopher Russo. I represent Savage National Charter School. The main thing colleges look for are grade point average, high school curriculum, SAT scores, ACT scores, leadership positions, and extracurricular activities such as athletics and the big one. MySpace, Facebook, YouTube, or any other social networking site does not tell colleges any of these things. Moral character can be found in a resume or in an interview with the applicant themselves in person. If colleges wanted to use a background check, they could always use an official background check, such as the CORI, or the Criminal Offender Record Information. It cannot be argued either that information found on MySpace is 100% accurate all the time. Secondly, it's unorthodox to use MySpace as a background check because the information isn't accurate most of the time. For example, on my MySpace page, I'm only 21. You see, I'm not 21 in real life, I'm 16. If colleges would not use Wikipedia as part of a background check, why would they use MySpace, Facebook, or YouTube? Because the user can change any information on the page at whim and his discretion. That means he can change information to look better in the officer's eyes, and or look worse as a result. Professors at colleges usually tell their students to quote and use official sources such as newspapers, magazines, books, authors, etc. But if colleges themselves do not follow this process, that's hypocritical and unjust.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank everyone for coming here today. I'm going to start off with some quotes and virtues of certain philosophers. Aristotle distinguishes two kinds of excellence or virtues: excellence of intellect and excellences of character. Also, Greek moralists think it takes someone of good moral character to determine with regularity and reliability what actions are appropriate and reasonable in fearful situations, and that it takes someone of good moral character to determine the regularity and reliability how and when to secure goods and resources for himself and others, like the career field. In the beginning of the negatives, their beginning statement was that MySpace can reflect one's personality, and that is what colleges are looking for. They are looking for authenticity. For example, by the Associated Press, Justin Pope says, what Goodman is looking for is authenticity, an increasingly hot-selling point in college admissions as a new year rolls around. The point that we are trying to make is that when you turn in a college application, you have supplemental resources, for instance, like teacher references or, a sports coach or things like that. But these teachers know you inside of class. Now, yes, colleges want to know your academic. That's where the GPA comes in, which the negative they did say. But some of these people, most college students, are going to be living on campus, and they want to know what kind of personalities they're taking into their respective college, because their students make their reputation. So teachers know what they are in class. So that's why MySpaces can reflect that. Another point is that the negative made was colleges use interviews. Not all colleges use interviews. The reason law schools, unlike business and medical schools, checked at a higher rate is that they don't often have interviews or face-to-face time with students. SLED said Glenn Storr, Director of Pre-Law Programs with Kaplan. So obviously, law schools aren't using many face-to-face interviews. That obviously proves that not all colleges use these type of things. Another positive effect that this could enforce is it could decrease the amount of violence and negative content on social networking websites like MySpace. If this were to be aware, then I would think that there would be a decrease in negative effect because college-bound students may have negative connotations or things like that on their MySpace from other friends. They want to make sure that they're representing themselves. And this supplemental resource like MySpace can only prove more that you have prepared yourself through 4 years of high school, that you are ready to enter into a more mature community. And colleges want to make sure that you're going to be entering into a mature community and that you're ready for it. Matureness is the key factor here. And MySpace, I think, is a great way to see the real person.
Thank you. Now, as I said, MySpace does show character of applicants. But may we also remember that there's another factor playing when someone's creating a MySpace page. It's called peer pressure. Peer pressure is, by definition, pressure felt from peers to act in a similar and comfortable way around others. If this is true, you're going to lie, evidently, on your MySpace page to prove that, yes, you're part of this group. Also, a study by Nancy Darling from Ohio states that people will lie to feel accepted by their peers. To be accepted by their peers is one of the greatest achievements. Another study by Lohr and Brown states that people in a higher class of popularity will tend to attract those of lesser popularity, meaning that, once again, people will lie. Also, like they said, interviews are not very common in person, whereas in Princeton University, they do not do a background check because they don't have the time to do it. To find the person who most likely will lie about their name because they do not want the information out on the internet would take too much time and too many resources for this to actually occur.
However, a lot of people I know personally who had a crummy character, lied a lot, and was not moral at all, have gotten into college and turn around in college. Now it's like now they're paying for education, they matured, they stopped joking around in class, and they just overall matured, like I said. Secondly, the peer pressure in college still is there, and people will act differently and in a less moral way, unless, like, if colleges should not bar people from their colleges due to the things they see on a MySpace, Facebook, YouTube page, because a lot of people lie on those pages. A lot of those people just have them for fun, and colleges don't want to see the social side of a person. Everyone drinks in college. People try pot in college usually. People try experimental drugs. MySpace only shows the social party side of a person, not the mature, responsible side colleges want or are looking for. Thank you.
Good evening. For the final time tonight, I'm Joe McCarlough for Chicopee Comprehensive High School. The negative team, or opposition team, has stated that we don't know a lot about people by their moral character. They talk about people lie on their MySpace. Well, when people lie on their MySpace, it's showing a poor moral character. Why would a college, an institution, want an individual who is not respectable, not responsible enough to know what they have on the internet? Colleges want people who are going to be productive, cohesive members of their society and going to be leaders in their college community. Not doing, doing these things, and it's just not a responsible thing for people who colleges are looking for. The opposition team talks about everybody drinks in college. Well, that's not responsible. If everybody drinks in college, then colleges have a lot of work to do on their own end of the deal. They talked about peer pressure. Peer pressure shows that you're making this as decision making via character. If you don't have enough character to not be influenced in decisions, then you're not going to be the type of person a college is looking for. Colleges are businesses, in a sense. They're looking for people to be the most productive people in their society, and they're not going to select people, okay, who are not productive and have character flaws. Just like a job, if you're trying to hire somebody and look for somebody to be coming into your community, you're not going to select somebody with flaws. Face-to-face interviews we talked about earlier, they're not exactly possible. To do face-to-face interviews with every possible candidate and applicant is just not feasible. And these MySpace checks offer an option to go and look at somebody without any perimeters. There's no unbiased opinion that you can form on yourself. You are allowed on MySpace to select either your profile to be selected as private, only people you select, or public for everybody to see. So it's obvious in the terms and use agreement and the privacy policy that you have selected at your own discretion for this profile to be viewed by anyone at any time. If you do not want it to be seen, then you select it to be private. So therefore, you are agreeing the terms of use policy that you are allowing anybody at their own time, at any discretion of time, to view that profile. They talked about how people don't post the most accurate information on their page. Again, shows an irresponsibility, and they know people are going to be viewing it if they select for it to be viewed. The decisions you make reflect you as a person. People who lie do not have moral character. That's the bottom line. As an individual, you do not want somebody in your community who's a liar, who doesn't work hard, and who does not show moral character. It's an obvious thing for people to look at. Thank you.